All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another show. Excited to jump on here. If you are watching the replay, let us know if you're watching the replay. If you are watching live, let us know in the comments. We'd love for these to be interactive. If you have questions, let us know. We have a lot to cover today. We got myth-busting tips from the whole fitness industry, and I'm gonna tell you the proper way to work out. I actually titled this. What did I title this? Do I show it here? It's a new age, and so are you. So toss those old school programs to the side because they don't work anymore. And that's it. That's all there is to it. We are still working out. Oh, I thought I was in the wrong group. We're still working out how we used to work out 20, 30, 40 years ago. What's happening, people? Let's get some clarity today and help you understand there is a different way to go about things, and that's what we're going to explain today. We have Shelly's in here. Lorraine says good morning again. I jumped on a call with Lorraine this morning, an early one, because she is calving. Well, not personally. But we do our best to accommodate. I don't usually take calls that early because of a sometimes sleeping toddler. Good morning, Amy. Michael's in here. Jillian's in here. Let me know if I pronounced that right. Did I say hey, good morning to everyone? Let us know where you're watching from. Let me know in the comments. Sometimes we have people that are watching from all over, which is pretty cool. Okay. Let's see. I'm half concerned about my camera's battery life. I thought I had them charged, but technology and electronics, oh my. Sometimes, so I got on here this morning and it was like, update your software. And I'm like, no, I have a show to do. So, okay, I'm going to jump on here. Let's get into it because we got a lot to cover. And I wrote down some notes. So, I'm a bit more prepared than usual. No, I don't really like notes because I don't feel like I have to read them, and I feel like I do better. Good morning, Mar. Good morning from St. John. Awesome. Rose is in here. Sunny Edmonton. I hope it's sun shining there, Lori. Okay. So here's the thing, is that I see this all the time, and it's so eye-opening to me. Or maybe not eye-opening, but just shocking that you see people working out as bodybuilders. And I'm like, you're not a bodybuilder. I'm at least guessing you don't want to be a bodybuilder. So why are you working out like that? Or I see someone in a conventional gym, and okay, I'm picturing a 45-year-old woman that is doing a bench press. And I'm like, who set you up with that? What? And so there's a difference. Like maybe you want to build big bulky muscles, or maybe you like lifting heavy weights. It's just rare. So I'm speaking I'm generalizing here that of course there's outliers, and sometimes people are like, I like going to the gym, I like lifting weights, I love my trainer that only does push-pull types of days that are only isolation movements. When I say isolation movements, I mean like bicep curl, bench press, tricep machine. That's fine. Like if that's who you are, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those people that don't necessarily want those types of workouts, or they certainly don't want that body type, but they're working out that way because they don't really know that there's another way. So I want to share with you, there's definitely another way, and you can see better results. And I'll put you don't need high intensity, you don't need burpees, so you're doing burpees for time, so you're leaning over the garbage can. Like it's old school thinking. It's like back in the day when I started fitness, like I started this 12 years ago, business, but I've been doing my own fitness for 25 years since before that, right? And that was like boot camps, go, go, go. And like, I don't even think boot camps are a thing anymore. But we still work out in that manner. Like I'm going to do as many as I can until I drop and I can't walk the next day. Like that's not working out for longevity. That's not working out to help your joints move properly. That's not for mobility, flexibility, so you can chase your kids or your grandkids around. That's entirely different. And that's why I want to shine some light on this topic. I feel like it's long overdue. I just didn't realize so many people were working out of the way of the past and don't know what they're or don't know the reason they're doing something. So the bodybuilder industry started on, or sorry, the weightlifting industry, which then became the fitness industry, started with the bodybuilders, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example. Like those guys in that era, they pioneered the fitness industry. And you know what's interesting? I just did an interview on Exploring Mind and Body yesterday, and she was talking about how soldiers were coming back from World War One, and they were rehabbing from injuries, maybe limb loss or maybe not limbs not functioning. And a lot of that came from the industrial age of pulleys. And just think about that, for example. Like, where do you think that machine tricep extension came from, right? Or those cable curls, like, you know what I'm talking about with the two cables on the side? Like, that's a pulley system. That came from generations ago, and we're still like, okay, that's a great way for me to move my body. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to put anyone down for working out in that manner or for following that system, because that's the norm and that's what most people do because they don't know anything else. And that's why you're here. We want to teach you that there's another way to see different results. So you're not looking to rehab from World War One. You're not looking, like, there's even a different way to rehab now. But you see, it could be physio or osteo, or maybe probably not osteo, but it could be those conventional types of modalities. They're still doing the same movements that they were taught in school 40 years ago. And it's like, all right, we're in a new age, and so are you. So you need to move your body differently, so your body functions differently, and so you get different results. So I hope that wasn't too much on your mindset, but that's what I want to talk about today, is completely changing your mindset and helping you understand that if you are wanting different results, you're in a different age range, you want a different body type, then you have to do exercises that equal different results. So in any case, when we look at life, your action steps or inaction steps will either take you closer to the goal you want to achieve or further away. So if you have different goals, then you don't exercise the way we did 50 years ago. All right. Let's get some more welcomes in here. Lorraine says, watching from the barn. Awesome, Lorraine. Rose is in here. Kelly's in here. Angela, Deanne, Patty. And Patty's watching from Bicycle. And good morning, Louise. Okay. All right. So let me know in the comments. How does that hit with you? Let me know in the comments if you feel like I've lost my mind. Oh, I'm okay with that. Or if you feel like there's another way to work out. Are you ready to hear some different ways to work out? Let me hear about it. Okay. And I mean, let me take a step back. There's nothing wrong with clanging around heavy weights. I just feel the majority of people that we work with are women in that perinatal, full-blown menopausal state. They're not trying to work out for 2.5 hours on biceps. They're not hanging around the squat rack trying to get their personal best, PB, personal best, or personal record, PR. That's what those stand for. And I'd imagine you probably don't even know that because it doesn't make sense to you. Like, it doesn't make sense for you to track that. Like, I'm going to stack on as much weight as possible and squat it out. Or bent, like, it just doesn't. But still, we see people, they're like, oh, I signed up with this trainer. And I'm like, okay, great. What are they doing? What are you doing? Like, I'm doing bench press. So they're like, oh, I just need nutrition. I don't need fitness. I'm good with fitness. So I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing? And they're like, well, I'm doing this bench press and I just maxed out. I'm like, great if that excites you, but you probably don't need to be doing bench press unless you want to have isolate those triceps and pecs, and you want bigger pec muscles. Right? Like, how can I share this? Kelly, you should be able to share this. This is in a, oh no, sorry, this is in a private group. You cannot share this, but thank you for the offer. This will go up as a podcast, and you can share that, but I know that's not like the best. And thank you for asking. You can tag people in this. You can invite people to the group. Unfortunately, we got way too much spam in our groups. and we were letting everyone in because it was a public group. So we got spam, and we got handfuls of people we didn't want in here that were not positive, not upbeat, not our people. And it took way too much time to delete all of them or remove them. So it's better off now to just before, when people come in, they send a request and then we accept them in. So unfortunately, you can't share it under private groups. Okay, what else do we have here? Let me know if you guys have questions about exercise. Morning, Shannon. We feel, and I understand this like as a whole, like we feel that exercise should be easy. We feel that losing weight should be easy. We feel like nutrition should be easy. Now, I'm here to tell you that we are not set up for success. In this society we live in, we're set up for failure. That's why it's so important to hire someone that knows what they're talking about. And that could be, hopefully it's someone that aligns with what you're looking for. And the biggest problem that I see is that someone says, I've worked with this and these people before. And I'm like, oh, did you want that result? And they're like, no. Like they've signed up for a short-term thing. Like, oh, did you want short-term results? No. And the problem here is that we have tried the same thing over and over again. Like we continue to try the same thing over and over, and it doesn't work. And we all know what Einstein said about the definition of insanity. So we have to try different things that align with what you're looking for. So first of all, what you tried in the past 20, 30 years ago isn't going to work now because you have you're a different person. You have different activity level. You have different hormones. You have a different body type than 30 years ago. So that's why what works then doesn't work now. That's number one. And number two is that if you continue to look in the wrong areas, which could be short term, could be pills, potions, powders, those are not solutions, are not going to get you the results you're looking for. So hopefully that's why you're here, to understand that there's a different way, different mindset, and come in with an open mind, understanding that there are solutions, but you have to be willing to take steps to try new things, right? If you're doing the same thing over and over again that hasn't worked, it's not going to work. One of the first questions I ask when someone comes to us and they say, oh, I'm looking for some help. Can you help me? And I say, great, what have you tried in the past? That's the first thing that I ask, because I usually ask, have you worked with a coach before? Because some people are very coach resistant. Sounds funny, like they reaching out for help. A lot of times people don't want to be told what to do, right? You have to be coachable and ready to be coached before you come to a coach, because sometimes I'll sit across from someone and I'll offer advice, or we'll have an open conversation, and I can tell right away, I've been doing this for a long time, that they're resistant. Oh no, that's not going to work because, oh, I tried that in the past, it doesn't work now. Like you have that limiting mindset. So we found the most success from individuals that come in with an open mind, are willing to try just about anything within reason, and they can follow a step-by-step process. Those people that don't, they have a really hard time because they're not quite ready. They're like, I always say we have a map to your success. That's what we call our metabolism accelerator program. Point A and point B. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So every once in a while we have someone that's like, let me try this. And I'm like, how about you follow the program? And they're like, okay. A couple weeks later, how about I try this? And I'm like, how about you follow the program? So it just they can still see results. It just takes them longer to get from point A to point B because they're not following the step-by-step process of where you can see results. So I think that's important to understand, is that you need to have an open mind if you want to see different results. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done, right? I think that's thorough, but that's super important to understand. Karen's in here, and Kelly says, okay, tag me when you get the podcast up and I'll share. Awesome. Thank you so much. Anyone that you share, like, it's really important. Like, we don't run any ads at this point. It's all word of mouth. So how we grow our business and be able to reach and help more people. So anyone that welcomes people into our private groups, anyone that comments, likes, shares, that means the world to us, because that helps us reach more people. It boosts the algorithms. That's why we like it when you guys comment or hit the hearts buttons on these shows. If you introduce your friends to us, like, that really means the world to us. Okay. I feel like I've talked enough about what doesn't work. Oh, you know what I was going to mention is like the challenging part about this, like this society we live in, is that we're not necessarily set up for success. In fact, I would look at the opposite. I think we're set up for failure. On a deeper level, I've been sharing with our private members. We've been doing some heavy work financially, and I have a good friend that's he's an absolute genius when it comes to numbers and finances and investing. He manages his own hedge fund. He manages a lot of money every single day, and I get a chance to sit with him, and we sit down once a week and we talk about finances. And I'm like, my gosh, I feel like we are set up for failure when it comes to finances. Like we are set up, in my opinion, to be in debt for the rest of our lives, from buying a house with a 40, 50-year mortgage to buying cars that we don't necessarily afford. And I'm okay. I don't have zero judgment. I'm just saying, like, there's interest, the interest rates changes, and the being stuck in debt, and the credit cards, like not paying off your credit card in full, you're paying 20%, right? And then you look at bank, you put your money in a bank, they give you 0.4% or 0.04% return, and then they take your money and loan it out to someone else at 20%. Like, we had a whole conversation this privately, so I won't get into that in too much detail, but it reminds me of the fitness industry, of like, I feel like in a financial state it's so confusing, and they do so many things to keep you maybe suppressed or in financial debt. I feel it's the same way when you look at health in general. Like, our world isn't set up for you to be strong and healthy. It's not set up. There's a lot of money in those big, powerful organizations to keep you not feeling well, probably on a few meds, and continually not vibrant and alive at your ideal body weight, confident, strong, and living the life that you want. So that's why we have to put in that extra effort to make that happen, because it's not easy. And that's all there is to it, because of like all the temptations and the quick fixes and the short-term mindset that we live in. We have to continually put in that extra effort to make this life happen in a healthier manner. So, but I mean, I feel like the gym, like, I hate to pick on gyms in particular, but I don't think gyms were set up for success. Like, gyms were set up old school, and I'm talking about like curves. Like, curves, those are isolation movements. Like, those are great to avoid injury and to get you out in a public area or hanging out with your friends and stuff. But you go to the gym and you're like, oh, I'm just going to use the machines. Those are isolation movements. That's going to help with one single muscle, each one of them. So you're like, oh, I'll just do a bunch of them and they'll get all the muscles. But your body doesn't naturally move like that. Getting up off the ground, that's a functional movement, much different than in a gym atmosphere. So I'm thinking that I don't feel like those conventional gyms are set up for your success. And when I say success, I'm talking about the ideal client that we're working with, from improving your joints to fight arthritis, right? So you can look at heavy lifting. Like, if you're heavy lifting, banging on your joints, that's not helping with arthritis. If you're hanging around or banging around too much heavy weight, I have a hard time believing. Okay. Hang tight. I'm still here. Just give me 1 second. Okay. That's very disappointing. Am I still back with you guys? I had my I got my fancy camera set up there, and I got my fancy camera set, and the battery just died. Good news is that we have a backup camera, which is just my computer camera. At any rate, carrying on. I feel like it's important to understand that we want it to set you up for success. And when I'm talking about success, I'm talking about what you're looking for and the success that you want, and whether that be mobility or more energy. You're banging around heavy weights on your joints, that's not going to improve your joint health. And I have a hard time believing that's going to help improve the osteoporosis that we're all dealing with as we age, right? So what we need to do is change our mindset. That's number one. That's why I dedicated this first half. I keep looking at that camera. That's why I dedicated. Thanks, Jelaine. I'm back on track. I got a thumbs up. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Suzanne and Sandra jumped in here. So, okay. it starts with the mindset. That's why I dedicated half of this first show, or half of this show, to understanding the mindset and the difference between what it's like to be stuck in that system of working out old school and struggling to see the results that you're looking for now, right? That's completely different. So now when we look at the types of workouts that we design, is, to be honest with you, when I started designing these workouts, I was on the road. Like, I was on the road traveling as an athlete, and I didn't have a gym atmosphere. We didn't have time to go to the gym during season. I'm talking about working out in hotel rooms on the side of the field, making sure I'm strong and healthy throughout the season. Our season was 7 months long. It's not like it's a couple months or a few weekends. All of our seasons were long stretches, and we played every single day. We rarely got days off. I remember when we would get days off, it would be like, and as much, we loved the game. We absolutely loved the game. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it. But we would celebrate. We'd like, we get a day off, and we just go crazy, like a little kid in a candy store. But that's when I started to design these workouts. So with these workouts in particular, for the most part, you don't need equipment. So when we start everyone off, with full body weight functional movements. So that means you're using your body as the machine. You're not clanging around weights. You're not squatting. You're not doing burpees, that's for sure. What we're doing is trying to get you more used to using your body. And one of the things that I love this, like, as a parent with a toddler, I absolutely love watching him move. Like, I am so envious or jealous of how he moves. Like, he's so flexible and agile, and at 2 years old, he can balance and he can climb, and it's like, and I think to myself, when did we lose that? Like, at what point in our life did we lose the ability to move our body in such a manner that it's like it's fluent and it just looks natural? And now look how when we bend down, like as adults, we bend down and we're like, ugh. And I don't think that happened overnight. I think it's a slow progression of moving our body less, so we have less of the ability to move our body. So the more you move your body, the more you have the ability to move your body. And I learned that from one of my most eye-opening experiences when I dealt with my lower back pain. I learned so much because for the first time in my life, I was very immobile. And your back and your core, like, that is everything. If you can't move that, you're going to be really challenged to do anything. Dave says, nice beard. Get off my feed. I'm trying to catch up with your mustache there. Hey, Crystal. So, okay. Back on track. You have to move your body in a more fluent manner to have more mobility, to have more flexibility. And the problem here is that when we're working out there's different levels, right? You're not working out at all, that's one. The less you move your body, you're not working out your body in any manner, the less ability you have to move your body. So that's when you're like, oh, I tried to work out for a couple weeks and the first week, I could hardly do any of the exercises. The second week, I was so sore from working out that I never went back. That's the first type. You see people all the time in January, they join a gym and they're like, oh, I'm going to start working out, but they don't have a real plan. They don't really know how to move their body. They don't know how to use the gym at all. And they're setting themselves up for failure. So you have to learn, and that's the process they go through, is they kind of start a little bit. They're not really sure how to follow through with anything. And then they quit. And then it goes back to the January, all the New Year's resolutioners that don't make it past January, right? And that's, in my opinion, why we're setting ourselves up for failure instead of success, by not having the proper mindset, number one, and then from there not having the proper exercises or movements or plan for you to see the results that you're looking for. How we doing here? Is this hitting home for anyone? Give me emoji in the comments. It's quiet. It's all quiet. I'm like, hello? Is anyone there? I would say give me a thumbs up, but I can't stand the thumbs up. The Thumbs up is like my least favorite thing in the whole world, besides unpacking from a vacation. If there's one thing I would remove from one feature I'd remove from Facebook, it's the thumbs up feature. Not the like button on a post, like when someone responds with thumbs up. So, okay. So from there, we move to the proper way to work out. And for me, that's full body functional movement. So we're working on flexibility and mobility. We're looking at balance, coordination, and making sure that you can do the things that you want to do on a regular basis. So I'm talking about getting up out of your bed, getting up off the chair. You'll see when we design our workouts, we have our clients get up off the ground, back on the ground. And we want to be able to get you to start moving your body properly. And we actually have people that said in the past, I can't believe how much better I can move throughout the day after going through your workout class. And that's different. That's not just exercising. That's taking exercise to the next level. That's different than conventional type of movements with heavy weights, even those pulleys that I've talked about earlier. It's more so about the types of workouts or the types of exercises that you're doing to help improve your mobility. Now, in most cases, when we're working with individuals, they say, like, what are your goals or what are we working towards? They want, in most cases, almost everyone says, I want to be able to chase my kids or grandkids as I get older. And that's a very different mindset than I want to see how much weight I can lift or I want to see how much I can bench press. So then I think to myself, if that's your goal, why are you lifting? Like, why are you bench pressing? So when we design workouts, I design them in 3 different sets. So I'm going to explain this to you so you can try. I'll give you guys an offer here at the end, free, if you want to try one of our workouts. But stay with me here. For you, if you want to design your own workouts or if you want to try workouts in a different manner, I would suggest doing something a little bit different. So what we do is I like to take an upper body, a lower body, and a core type of workout, and I combine those in one set. So I'll try to make this as simple as possible for you. Let me know if I lose anyone here. We got Darcia in here. Patty, thanks for the emoji. Sherry, Marilyn, and Louise, thanks for the emoji, Louise. And Jody's in here. So, okay. So upper body, lower body, core. So those are 3 different exercises, 3 different movements. And we do them back to back to back. And then we have a break. And now let me explain this to you. Our program is called your Metabolism Accelerator Program. Our entire purpose and goal is to increase your metabolism so it burns at a higher rate. So if you want to compare this resistance training to cardio, for example, cardio burns your body fat or increases your metabolism up to 24 hours after your workout. That means you get your workout in and your metabolism is still boosted up to 24 hours after. Now, everyone's different. It's very difficult to be like, this is exactly what it is. But that's number 1. And number 2 is helping you understand that cardio is not the answer. You see people doing endless cardio. Like, oh, I've been running for, like I hear this all the time. I've been running for years, never really been able to burn the body fat. Or they never really increased mobility. Like, those running like hits your joints, like it hits on your joints. That doesn't particularly help with arthritis. If you're looking at doing a cardio, let's just say it's an elliptical that is easier on your joints. That is not the resistance training. That's going to increase your metabolism and help you burn body fat. That's why it's so difficult to help people understand when they're like, and I get different requests or different pieces, but they're like, I'm good with nutrition. I just need to, or it's usually the opposite, depending on the person. They're like, I'm good with workouts, I just need nutrition help. And I'm like, well, what kind of workouts are you doing? Like cardio, elliptical, walking. And I'm like, okay, great. But if I give you this meal plan and you're not putting them together and you're not getting the proper types of workouts that you need to increase your metabolism within a program designed for you, it doesn't work. You don't get the full benefit, or you don't get the full results. You only get pieces of results. That's why at this point, when people say, I only want one of your program, I only need parts of your program, I say then our program isn't for you. Right now, all we do is, only thing we offer is one type of program that can help give you the full picture, not pieces. Because if we give you the nutrition piece, if you don't follow a proper exercise program, you're not going to get the full results, and then you're going to say, oh, the nutrition doesn't work. And I'm going to say, well, if you did the exercise with it, you double your results. Um, Brianne's in here, Jolene's in here, Sandra's in here. Sandra says, I appreciate the variation in your workouts. It keeps them interesting. I've seen great results in mobility and strength. Thank you. You're welcome, Sandra. We appreciate you as well. Um, so that's the difference of increasing metabolism through proper resistance training workouts, and then compare, I would say probably the extreme opposites of just that of looking at just the cardio aspect of just running, for example, and not implementing. And the number one reason, in my opinion, is because you're not increasing your metabolism at that higher rate. It's less than, cardio will increase your metabolism less than 12 hours after, if that. Resistance training doubles that, which is why it's important to move your body in this regard, right? Okay, so we have the three different exercises, and that hits the whole body each time. So we're increasing your metabolism in your whole body. It's very different from those people that are like, okay, I'm going to the gym and I'm just doing biceps. Or they're like, I'm doing chest and tris today. That's a different mindset, which we talked about earlier in the show, and it's a different result that you're looking for, and it's a different result that you're going to find at the end of the show, or at the end of the day, at the end of your program, whatever it is, you're going to get different results if you're doing things differently. Remember, those action steps will take you closer to your goal or further away, or often those inaction steps will take you further away. Good morning, Krista. So I hope that's hitting home for you guys. Hit the hearts button if that's if this conversation has been beneficial for you. So we do the 3 exercises, and the reason why we take a break, is because we want to increase your heart rate and bring it back down. Now, again, cardio is just an easier one to pick on because a lot of people do cardio, or a lot of people come to us and they're like, oh, I work out through cardio only. So if you're going to do cardio, you would want to increase your heart rate, bring it back down. That's still different movements, and in my opinion, that's very different movements from resistance training to help you see the results you're looking for. But you could also look at those isolation movements in like a conventional gym atmosphere that I've been talking about as well. So what we want to do is your 3 sets to increase your heart rate and then bring it back down. We continually do this for about 30 minutes. That's how long we suggest working out. These are efficient full body workouts. Again, very different than working one muscle group for an hour and a half. It's the same thing with cardio. We see people doing an hour and a half of cardio. I have potential clients come to me, and then we'll talk about workouts, and I say our workouts are 30 minutes. And I've had people say, oh, that's not long enough for me. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, oh, that's not long enough for me to see results. I need to work out for an hour and a half. And I'll say, well, then you're doing the wrong things. Of course, they don't want to hear that. You can't change people's mindset. That's when I talked about early in the show, but you need to be coachable. If someone comes in and they want to tell me what to do, then I say, and this has happened in the past. I had someone that says, I want to do this, but I really don't like resistance training, but I do like cardio. Can I just do cardio? And I say, okay. It's like someone brand new to exercise in the wellness world. They're like, we can use their preference. Okay, you can do cardio, or you can use over 20 years of experience, and I'm going to tell you, you'll get way more results by doing resistance training. But if you want to do cardio, go ahead and do cardio. Just don't come 3 weeks later and say, how come I'm not getting results? I've been doing my cardio. Because cardio isn't going to give you the same results as a proper resistance training program. And that's not just burning body fat, increasing your metabolism, dropping weight. That's the mobility I'm talking about. That's the energy. If you're going, like, you look at those other types of gyms where you're doing burpees till you're bent over the garbage can. Like, we used to work out like that. I know what that's like. I know what damage that's done to my body long term. That's why I'm so proficient with flexibility, mobility, different types of workouts now. That's number one. And number two is that is exhausting. You don't feel energized after a workout like that. You feel like going back to bed after that workout because you can hardly breathe. That's not what we're looking for, and that's not what I'm talking about when I'm saying get a workout in the morning. Use your full body for movement, improve your flexibility, follow a proper nutrition program, and watch all the benefits flood in. I'll put our program up to, like this type of program I'm talking about now, up to any other program when it comes to results. So some people are like, oh, if you don't have high intensity, you're probably not going to see the results of your low intensity type of workouts. Like, okay, I'll put up our program up against anyone's, because I'll tell you that I'm in a paid mastermind group with over 100 different online trainers that have programs that set up how we set up. And I don't know if anyone has better results than we do. Similar, very few have similar, but when you look at the results that you've seen in our program in a reasonable short amount of time, they're extreme. Like, they're extreme results, and I'll tell you why. What happened is what we had a different type of program. We had the program where it was like, okay, it was a slow burn type of program. It was more built around sustainability. So if you're not working out, okay, let's get you walking. You're not doing resistance training, let's try once or twice a week. I've been there. I know exactly how that story ends. That story ends with people not buying in because they don't see results in a short amount of time. Then they jump off and they go find the quickest potion powdered pills that's going to promise them results in the first 2 weeks or the first 6 weeks or the 21-day fix, right? So what we did is we stripped our program down entirely, built it back up. We invested in software, we invested in coaching, we built it back up so you see results in a short amount of time, so we have that buy-in, and then we can show you sustainability. But without people believing in something that's going to work, it's not going to work. They're not going to stick with it. So that's why we're like, if you, like those of you that are watching right now, if you want to start seeing results in the with workouts, you need to be working out properly. That's number one. And you need to I lost it. You need to be working out properly. Oh, the minimum is 3 times a week. So you need to be working out 3 times a week. Less than that, we don't see the results. Once a week is nothing. Twice a week is more maintenance if there's other things included in there, like one of our knee program. We have a lower back program. So you could work out resistance training twice a week with other additives. But if you're not resistance training 3 times a week, we don't see the results over the years. So that's why I say when people come in, you need to start working out at least 3 times a week. And if they're like, I don't think I can commit to that, then I say, this program probably isn't for you, because you're not going to see the results you're looking for. And then you're going to jump off as soon as possible and try to find something else that you don't have to put any effort in to see results. So understand that I'm hoping this is helpful for you. When you start an exercise program, you need to commit for at least 3 times a week to see the results that you're looking for. So that's number one. And then I want to go back to designing your program. So we do 3 different sets. So 3 different sets of 3 different exercises to hit the full body. And then you get a break, about a 90-second break in between. We want to increase your heart rate and bring it back down. And then we jump back in, increase your heart rate and bring it back down. So 30 minutes of that, of hitting the full body to increase the metabolism. And then we do stretching and mobility afterwards. So that's very important, because if you're going into, so here's the thing, is that we're always compressing we're always making our muscles shorter. Like, we're compressing our muscles. So we're sitting here in a desk. Look at everything that's bent right now. My elbows are bent, my shoulders are bent, my neck may be pushed forward, my knees bent right now, my hip joints are bent. It's the same difference when most people work out. When most people work out, we are contracting muscles, making them shorter. So with those shorter contracted muscles, you see when someone slips, what happens? When you slip and fall, everything widens or elongates in a short amount of time, which is why the injuries come in. So if you're in any type of program and you're not going through a proper stretching program to elongate those muscles, but innately by exercising, you are setting yourself up for an injury by not properly elongating those muscles afterwards. So that's why we put in a stretching program after every one of our exercises. Now, I will tell you, it's one of the hardest things to do is to get our clients to stretch. And most of our programs are now online, but I know for years of working in the gyms, in fitness class, personal training, is that people are not going to stick around after to get their stretching in. But I'm telling you, hopefully that's enough. and hopefully you don't have to go through any injuries on your own, to know that if you're not properly elongating those muscles every time, like every day that you're shortening them, you're setting yourself up for injury. And the reason that's a problem is because we see those people that always yo-yo, and they're like, they jump into a program, they don't properly follow the program, they're certainly not stretching afterwards, and then they get injured. So what happens is you see that yo-yo of, I'm all in, jump in with 2 feet, and then they get injured, and then they can't work out. And then when they start to heal and get better, probably don't do any rehab, they jump back in, what happens? They get injured again. So if that's you, or if that sounds like you at all, that's why the stretching part is so important on top of the mobility, to help you stay long, lean, flexible, and mobile, to make sure you're getting your flexibility. Personally, I think that's like not just this structure, but the mobility aspect is the way of the future. I feel like that will be more like as the generations age. Like I think the baby boomer age is one of the biggest age groups at this point. I feel like that longevity or that mobility is going to be the future of how we gauge health. Right before, like it used to be how big your muscles were. That was how healthy you were. And then it was like running, like those people that run ultra marathons, right? And doing that for years, we know what damage that does on the body. And I'm not telling you not to do either. I'm just telling you, it's my prediction in the future. General health of how healthy a person is, I feel, is going to be more based on, it's going to be more based on mobility, how you move, how you feel. It's going to be completely different. And that's what I was talking about earlier in the show, is that generations change, life changes. We're in a much different place we are now than we were 20, 30 years ago. But is that you're still working out that same way that you used to, and you're not seeing the results now and not changing anything. And that industry hasn't necessarily changed. It just, they put a different name on it. They put a different title on it. I won't pick on anyone's in particular, but the movements, the structure, the mindset, that all has to catch up with the direction you want to go. And I just see a major gap in the industry. And I feel like that's why, another reason why we've been able to see such amazing results with our clients, because we're ahead of the curve when it comes to those clanging around heavy weights or doing burpees till you throw up. I feel like that's just old school, in my opinion. I do yin yoga and stretch. Awesome. That's fantastic, Julian. Cecile jumped in here. Ann jumped in here. Kobe jumped in here. Brienne says your program stands out because it's holistic. You hit nutrition, exercise, mobility, flexibility. However, you also care about our day-to-day living. Stress load, organization, showing up, gratitude. You give us tools to enjoy life to the fullest. Awesome, Brienne, that means so much. I really appreciate that. It's always nice when we explain what we're doing, and then we have our members jump in, our clients jump in and say, this is true. This actually works. It's not just true rambling about nothing. Morning, Nadine. So that's what I have for you. That's what I have for you today. We do have a couple options. If you want to try, we have a bunch of, we've done live workouts. So I used to do live workouts for our Fit Fam, which has now transferred to our MAP program. And it's a different structure, like I talked about. I don't think I need to go into it anymore. That's a different structure. If you want to try one of our, if you want to try a free workout, it's a video workout. I'll send it to you. It's about 30 minutes. It includes in stretching, the full structure I'm talking about. We'll just send it over. Let us know in the comments if you want to try. Just say, please send me the workout, a workout. So if you just want to try a workout. And then we have considered doing a challenge again. But if you want to try our full program, we will consider that. Depending on, we did a full challenge of a couple weeks, and it was really nice to have a bunch of people come in and try our program. That was a ton of work, and we kind of burnt ourselves out, to be honest with you. So we will consider, if you want to try a 14-day challenge, comment below or send us a DM, and then we'll consider that if there's if we feel like it's the right time to make that happen. So you could try our full program, which includes nutrition, it includes fitness and support. Otherwise, if that interests you, send us a message. Otherwise, let us know if you want to try a workout. We'll just send it over YouTube. It's private. It's a YouTube link, and you can give a workout a try. And I did have I did have a plan to end this with a little slideshow that I put together for you guys, like a PowerPoint. It's like a 3 to 5 minutes, but I'm out of time, and I'm also my camera battery died, so I'm kicking myself. I didn't make sure I had that charged. I can't. That's our software. That's our program. This one here is just our. This one is just my computer camera, and I don't have the studio features on it. So at any rate, thank you so much for joining live. If there's one person that you feel would benefit from this conversation, please tag them in the comments, and you may need to invite them to this private group. So if you need to know how to do that, let me know. Otherwise, we appreciate you being in here, hanging out with us, and hopefully this helps you, take you closer to the goals that you're working towards. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch up with you soon. Take care.